Hello, welcome to another episode of Camposol Through Time. This week we're looking at the coins found and used through the ages in this area. To find out more, in the studio with me today is our very own historian and time traveller, Antonio Hernandez Benitez. Antonio, welcome back.
Hello.
And you have more things to show us.
Yes, quite a few.
Quite a few. We've talked previously about paper money notes
Exactly.
and the representations of the values of those. But before the notes came out, it was coins. It's been coins for thousands of years.
Exactly.
Now, you've got a few from your collection here we're going to have a look at. When coins started, how did they actually represent the value?
Well, the coins actually started at the beginning of the Metal Ages of the humanity, and it's actually representing the value of a metal, really. Okay.
So the coin was that value, whether
Exactly.
it be a precious metal, copper,
Exactly.
silver, gold, and it was that weight of that which was the value
Exactly.
of the coin.
Yes, and it was something, there was not like an international standard, but everyone used to accept it, the coins. There was not a way of exchanging the coins because they will accept it, the metal. Okay, if you wanted to pay with silver and it's silver coins from your country, they will accept it in another country.
Of course, because it's an international standard.
Exactly.
Who was it that actually brought the coins together? Because there's got to be somebody that makes the coins. Was it a bank, or was it the government, or at the time?
Well, for sure it was some kind of trading need. It was like some kind of trading need. Traders, they need something to exchange and to be able to buy and sell different products. Okay, and of course there was some kind of government in those days, like majority of them, they were kings or emperors, who actually they decided to put something that representing the power, the people they can actually see physically, who is the king or who is the emperor.
So this is why we always see the picture of the king or the
Exactly.
queen or whichever leader.
Exactly.
Because I do know you've got something we'll look at later
Yes.
with not a king,
No,
not a queen,
no.
but we've got a coin with Franco.
Yeah, well, for sure. There was
sure.
40 years of dictatorship, obviously. He was not on notes. Actually, none of the dictatorships in Europe, actually, they represented the faces on a note.
Is that right?
Yeah, and actually, even for instance, in Germany, Adolf Hitler, he was not even in coins, only in stamps, okay? But not in coins. But Franco was somehow the exception, and he did coins, obviously. In the pesetas, it was actually his face.
So pesetas are what we'll remember from pre-70s, before the euro, was it? 80s?
Well, the pesetas is actually one of the longest coins that we had in Spain. Actually started in the beginning, at the end of the 19th century, and it was until the year 2000, when we actually joined this euro
Of course, yeah, 2000.
currency,
Yeah.
and we started to actually to change, euros for pesetas for euros. But actually, there are many of us, we actually keep pesetas at home. We're still keeping them.
Really?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Why not?
Actually,
Why not?
thousands of, there was an estimation a few years ago, that actually thousands of millions of euros is actually in pesetas at home. We still have as a memory thing, we still have coins, notes, something to remember.
The Bank of Spain has kind of written it off, thinking we're not getting that back. Yeah. So on the table, we've got lots of examples.
Exactly.
Can we start with the earliest example of a coin that you've got?
Yes. Well, the oldest one that they have is actually before the Romans in Spain. Okay, it's probably 100, 200 years before the Romans actually they landed in this area, and it's actually from the Carthaginians. Okay, I have here the copy and the original one.
So this one here, I'm going to put my glasses on for this. I'm going to need those. This one here is an original Carthaginian coin.
Exactly.
Okay.
Made of silver.
That's silver, is it? Mm-hmm. Just patinaed. Let's turn it over. Is there any notable detail on that? Can you see?
There are some
there
details.
is, yeah.
Okay, that's why I brought the copy, because with the copy you can see actually better the details of the coin.
So that's the original. Mm-hmm. We'll pop that there. There we go. Now this is actually a copy of the original. Would this have been the original size?
Yes.
So who have we got? Has it got a picture there, a face on there? Who's that be? That's
Well,
one of the
probably
leaders at the time.
one of the leaders of these times, probably.
And on the other side, let's have a look what's on the other side.
Actually, you have the boats.
It's a
similar
boat.
to, yes.
Okay. So that's what that would, over time, that's obviously reduced to that size.
Exactly.
But that would have been the original size.
Think about during many centuries and thousands of years, well, because of the value of the coins, because they were made of pure metal, majority of them, they used to reuse it. Okay, majority of the kings, if they were not able to afford to create their own coins, they used to stamp the old coins. So during centuries here in Spain, for instance, not only in Spain, all around Europe used to do the same thing, but especially in Spain, they were using Roman coins without knowing that it's actually a Roman coin. The king was putting the stamp.
It's been re-stamped over
Exactly.
the top of the old picture.
Exactly.
And you've got one there that's got
exactly.
actually,
This is one example.
This kind of proves this point, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
for
This
sure.
one.
This actually I found it in Sierra Espuña. Walking in Sierra Espuña, I found this coin, and actually it has a date, 1694, and actually in the other side you have two different stamps from two different kings. Okay, so it means like at least three different kings they have been using this coin, but obviously the coin was there already. Probably it's coming from the Roman times, and there were different kings just re-stamp it and stamp it.
That's fascinating.
Because obviously it was cheaper than melting the coin and doing another coin.
And of course, in those days, when this might be a few hundred years old, would you say?
Well, yes, for sure. I mean, if it's originally Roman coin, it can be thousands, 1,000, 2,000 years old, easily.
But over time, it's been stamped and
Exactly.
stamped and stamped. What material is that? Is that copper?
Copper.
It is copper, yeah. So, with all, if I had one of these, yeah, and I wanted to buy a chicken, and you get 6 chickens for one of these, but I only wanted 1 chicken, what would I do?
Well, in those days, what they used to do, and during centuries, what they used to do, because if they didn't have change, they used to actually cut the coin into pieces, break it into pieces. And for instance, like as you say, like you wanted to buy something which the value is a quarter part of the coin, they will cut it in 4 pieces.
Have you got some examples
Yes,
of that?
I have actually from medieval times. They are made of silver.
Okay,
From
so
the Muslim Spain. The majority of them is actually coming from the Kingdom of Murcia. Some of them, some others.
This one here,
It's 3/4 parts of dirham, made of silver.
so it's a square coin
Yes,
originally,
yes.
so they're not all round.
No,
Okay, and this is silver,
yes,
and somebody has negotiated to take a corner
Exactly.
off that to buy something at some time.
exactly. Well, the reason why it's a square is because Muslims, on the Muslim world, mathematically, they think God is perfect, and they represented God as a square. That's why majority of the temples that they have, the mosque and so on, is normally a square.
And it's all it's very much based on geometry, all the design, and
Exactly.
everything, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay, that's why the coins as well, they were made, majority of them, or many of them, they were made of